All right, it's go time. You've worked with your design firm for nearly 10 months and you're finally ready to unveil that new rebrand. New identity, new packaging and tap handles, new website, new merch, shiny new delivery vehicles, new signage, new year, new you. The big day comes and you watch with bated breath as everything goes live on social media. Press releases go out, local beer press is alerted, everything is going great. Then a negative comment pops up. Okay, no big deal, no biggie. Wait, another negative comment came up, and now another one. And now we're looped into some sort of nasty Twitter thread. And there seems to be a large number of people who really don't like the new look. Now people are comparing our new logo to the logo of a brewery we've never heard of halfway across the country. There's already a negative post about our packaging on Instagram. They've made us into a meme. What's happening? How? We only just announced everything 3 hours ago. Some guy calling himself Beer Zorro 98 has started a petition to get us to change everything back to the way it was. The sky is falling. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. What the hell happened here? Hi. My name is Isaac Arthur. I'm a partner here at Kodo Design in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I want to welcome you back to our series, the final video in our series, where we are diving into some of the topics, chapters, and theory from our new book, Craft Beer Rebranded. Check this out at craftbeerrebranded.com, and you will learn how to navigate each step of your brewery's rebrand, including today's important topic, which is how to successfully promote and launch your rebrand. So, okay. Sorry for the hyperbolic intro. We've seen this scenario happen to a few breweries. Thankfully, none that we've worked with, but it's not really fun to watch. People hop online eagerly looking for the next thing to be outraged about, and they gleefully take to the streets to drag your name and hard work through the mud. And you can hedge against this by planning for a smooth and transparent brand launch, but it does take a lot of deliberate planning. And we've found now, after working with so many breweries and helping so many folks rebrand, there are two halves to the rebranding process. There's the first half that we've spent the majority of this series walking through, goal setting, wrestling with the idea of evolution versus revolution, building your brand strategy ahead of the design process. Then there's the design process itself, I guess. And then there's the other half, which is the rebrand rollout itself. So how you tell your team, your community, your stakeholders and fans that you have rebranded. And the larger and more established your brewery, the more important this reveal becomes. So unfortunately, you can't just flip a switch and call your rebrand done. Unveiling a rebrand is a complicated dance, and it has to be choreographed oftentimes months in advance. To give you an idea of a few of the moving parts here, you have to have all of your packaging finalized and approved by TTB. You have to have it printed and on hand in time to be packaged. Oh, and you have to have beer sitting in tanks ready to go into that packaging. Alongside of all of that, your old website has to come down and be archived. Your new website has to go up. New social media art has to go out. Press releases have to go out. New signage has to be fabricated, permitted, and installed. And you need piles of new merch for that tap room. And leading up to all of this, you have to educate your internal staff, sales folks, distributors, key accounts, everyone about the impending changes so that you are all moving in lockstep. See, easy, right? It's easy. In a perfect world, all of this goes live at the same time, but we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where TTB sends back one of your beer cans for correction right as you're getting ready to approve, or generally the way it works is right after you've approved a truckload order, or in a world where global pandemic grinds our economy to a halt, which is terrific. Or more commonly, a world where you may be sitting on a truckload of already expensively printed cans that you have to use before moving forward to the newly designed look through your rebrand. So in this imperfect world where you may not have everything squared away, you still need to strive to have everything go live in a manner that makes sense, whether that's in one glorious push or in an intentional, well-conceived schedule that you can announce the rebrand effectively. The most important thing here is that you need to control the narrative and tell your story. It's important not to gloss over this portion of the rebranding process because you can confuse customers as to why you rebranded. More savvy fans today may wonder if there's a private equity deal in the works, or if you've sold out, or if something else has happened that would otherwise make you less authentic and special in their eyes. So it's important to control this narrative and let people know that a change is coming ahead of time. This isn't just footwork to make sure you don't confuse customers during the transition, but it's also an opportunity to celebrate the new look and what it means for your brewery as your fans move forward. When your rebrand goes live, you'll be inundated with earned media. And we and our design partner, or our brewery partners, we're often inundated with this stuff. And the first week or two can seem like the entire industry, the entire world is talking about you, and it's really fun. You need to use this opportunity to tell beer buyers, restaurants, wholesale accounts, new and old, that your brewery, what you guys are about, and why you went through this change. So maximizing this exposure and making sure everything goes smoothly starts somewhat counterintuitively. It starts by girding yourself, by steeling yourself. So whether your brewery is 2 years old or 20, especially if you're older than 20, there will always be a contingent that feels slighted by your brand update. Don't take it personally. There are a lot of people out there that just don't like change, no matter how minor it is. That's fine. But put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Rebrands can leave people confused and frustrated, especially if they've been loyal, longtime fans. There's this feeling of, it wasn't broke, I like their packaging, why'd they fix it? And as a branding firm, Kodo lives and dies by every comment that rolls in during launch week. And this is absolutely not healthy, so I'm not telling you to do this. But I do feel like you need to hear the truth. There will be negative comments, no matter how great a job you and your design firm did. But there will also be an overwhelming amount of positive feedback, assuming that you actually did do a good job. So keep your chin up. Don't let a little online grumbling, don't let Beer Zorro distract you from telling your story and making you second guess months of strategically sound work. Okay, we covered the entire rebrand launch planning and execution protocol in our Craft Beer Rebranded book and workbook, but I'm going to touch on a few of these items at a high level for you, give you some stuff to think about in this video. So starting out, why do you need to tell your story and explain your rebrand? So as we mentioned, craft beer drinkers value transparency and authenticity. That's it. This means that you should be open and candid in explaining what's going on. Why are you rebranding? Why the new packaging and logo? What has continued growth highlighted the need to get your packaging updated? What can people expect to see from you moving forward? If you don't direct the narrative by giving people the entire story, they will make up their own. It's incredible to watch. And so there are two main considerations for telling your story. The first is announcing the change internally. So if your branding partner did their job right, they will have engaged your entire team throughout the research process. We talked about that a couple videos ago when we were talking about building your internal team. But it's not uncommon for people who aren't on the executive team to not know exactly what's going on in the process every step of the way. So you need to make sure that everyone is apprised of the updated work. In smaller outfits, this isn't that hard. You order lunch in, you give them a presentation, dim the lights, and play smooth jazz, all that. Don't do that. And after walking people through the changes, equip your team with new shirts and hats. Get them hyped. These are your brand's first ambassadors, after all. So beyond internal, the next step is announcing externally by developing a master campaign timeline. It's really easy to get lost in the weeds when planning a brand launch, so we like to start with internal considerations and important external touch points and move backwards from there. So we've already covered some of the major considerations for planning your brand launch earlier, so things like how much old stock are you sitting on, like packaging. When's the soonest date you'll be able to launch your new packaging? Like realistically, when can you launch a new website and so forth? So again, we outline a thorough timeline in the Craft Beer Rebranded workbook, so you can check that out there at craftbeerrebranded.com. But I will throw up a master timeline here that drove the launch plan for Atlanta Brewing's rebrand ahead of their big reveal. So that brings us to teaser campaigns. So we've found a good approach to rebrand launch planning is to tease your fans with a new look ahead of time. The key word is tease. Don't just show them a full logo. You want to show a small part of it or a tight shot of your new packaging or website or merch. You can blur images, you can obscure them in some way. The sky's the limit. Do whatever you want. But the big thing is that getting people excited that a change is coming so that it's not just dropped on them without any warning or context from one day to the next. As far as timing is concerned, we found that 7 to 8 weeks out from the launch date usually provides a good timeline to start hinting at the change. Or more realistically, just to get people to check your social handles or drop by the tap room on the big day. So we'll throw up a few snapshots here of Atlanta Brewing's rebrand teaser campaign that we built ahead of their 25th anniversary. And Atlanta's campaign focused on teasing fans with snippets of the new packaging, a refresher on their history, new merch, and a countdown to a huge party at the brewery, which then kicked off a month of local programming, parties, beer dinners, tap takeovers, all that stuff. This stuff ended up drawing thousands of people from around the state and earned a boatload of local and national press. It was really big for them, and is a fantastic launch. So my final point here, my final point of this entire series now, because we're done, it's that you should celebrate your rebrand. We're jumping ahead here because you still have to, complete your own rebranding process. But when you do, this unveiling should signal to the world all the progress you've made and the mark your brewery has made and it is making, in both in your local community and in the larger craft beer market. Don't just throw new can mock-ups on Instagram and call it good. Throw a damn party. Invite all your friends. Have fun with this. Have a few beers. Take a deep breath. You've successfully navigated a very complex process, and you shouldn't be worrying about anything on this day. Revel in what your team has accomplished. Tip your server. Hug your design firm. Enjoy the night and get a ride home. Definitely get a ride home. If you've walked through this process in a deliberate manner with your branding partner, you're going to make a huge splash with your rebrand. It's going to earn you loads of goodwill, and it will directly lead to more customers and more sales. We've seen it dozens of times now. Your rebrand will celebrate what you've accomplished to date, and it will tell the world what you intend to do moving forward. It sets the stage for whatever comes next. All right, I think we're done here. I mean, I want to thank you all for watching this series, and especially for those folks out there that have bought their own copy of Craft Beer Rebranded. It's been rewarding to see how you all have implemented this stuff that we've covered. We get emails all the time from people that either ask questions or show us their work, and it's been really humbling. It's fun. I love every minute of it, so thank you. If you'd like to discuss how we can help you rebrand your brewery, or if you have any questions on anything we've covered today or in the rest of this series, shoot me an email. I'll throw that up here somewhere. I want to wish you good luck. Good luck on your rebrand, and cheers. Thank you.